I bet you have guessed what car this is. From the display picture, this is the Honda Stepwagon Spada. This cabin is incredibly spacious for the driver. I'm talking you can't even reach the speedometer. I'm not even joking, look. It's so far. I'm not even joking. I can't reach my arm out and actually touch my speedo. It is so deeply inset, as well as the climate information and the clock and the AC and everything, not the actual multimedia center, but the information for the fan and whatnot is so far away from the driver. I can't even reach the windshield. This thing is such a captain's chair centric cabin that they give this much space. The Nissan Serena we have is very shallow. It's very in your face. This one is very, has a lot of depth to it. The steering wheel is just very Honda. Despite that, it just kind of has all the feelings and leathers and the touch tactile feel you would get out of a regular Honda Civic or Accord kind of thing. Nothing too economy, but nothing too luxurious. You get some nice paddles on the side too that click down pretty nice actually. They're rewarding to click. They're not as snappy as something from Mitsubishi, but they get the job done. Overall, the look of everything is fine from the driver's perspective. This is right up to my eyes, so everything is crazy amount of visibility. I get some really huge triangular windows on the side and a Japanese courtesy mirror, of course, because they don't have those in North America. But you see I have a courtesy mirror so you can see the front left of your vehicle, because that's typically the harder place to see. The side mirrors also have really good visibility. There's nothing wrong with that. And overall, the captain's chair is pretty comfortable. Not too much bolstering, but not devoid of any. And you get the old dad armrest right here, which is really nice, and it is leather. Now, whether every single one of these comes in leather, that remains to be seen, but that's just what we're dealing with the Spada version. You have a ton of buttons on your steering wheel. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with multiple controls, and of course those paddles. Because the steering wheel is so chunky, your signal and your wiper controls, they're not out of reach, but they're incredibly crowded. This is crazy crowded. You couldn't put a finger in there without rubbing up against both. And not only that, you can't see what they say. You can see what they say when you turn, because then it reveals itself, and mostly we remember that this is left and that's right, etc. But for the most part, you can't really see what's written on them. This is such a huge steering wheel in the center third of the actual construction that it just kind of blinds any sort of markings on the side of the actual handles themselves. It's quite interesting. The controls for the user, I like it and I don't like it. I kind of like these flat, almost flush buttons. They're quite nice to press. They click down very nice, and they're very concise, and they're easy to touch. The touch boxes for each of these is very simple. It's very intuitive, and you can't really make mistakes. The hazard button is also really chunky and really nice to push down. Now, what I don't like is the entertainment system, and this isn't Honda. This is specifically one that was put in aftermarket, but this particular one, it has all these kind of physical buttons at the bottom, but they don't do anything. They're just for your finger to guide up to the soft touch above it. So it's just not all that intuitive, but again, that has nothing to do with Honda. Let's look at the rest of the cabin. So we have a glove box at the top, a little, it's not really called a parcel shelf because that would be at the back, I guess just a shelf, and we have a glove box on the bottom. We also have a pull-out dual cup holder with a little coin tray, and I think we should have one more. Whoa, no, that was the fuse box, and you know how I knew that? Because it said fuse on it. Power outlet, we get a regular cigarette lighter. We don't actually get a plug. And let's look at the right side right now. So you get automatic doors on both sides. You get auto stop off and on, and of course you get power folding mirrors because all Japanese cars have that. At the top you get your lights, you get door off and on, and your sunglasses holder with a little mirror if you want to see what else is going on behind you in your cabin. You have this as well with no lights on this particular model, even though this is a high model, and you have auto on only one of your windows for the 4. There are no sunroofs in this one, so you're not going to find any sunroof controls, but you can eliminate the window like that. Let's get out and open the side, shall we? I believe that one. All right. So sitting in the back now, this is an 8-seater. Actually, you know what? Sitting in the middle, we'll say. So I am in the center right now, and there's an adequate amount of room. Now, the thing about the Stepwagon specifically, when compared against the Noah and the Voxy and the Serena, the 2 liters, not the El Grande, the Velfire, and the Alphard, those would be the 6-cylinder V6 units. We're talking about the 2-liter 4-bangers. The Spada Stepwagon is very narrow compared to those. So when I do sit in the middle, I'm a very wide person. I actually do spill over onto both of the seats. I'm not very tall, but I'm kind of built like a Lego man, and I'm already spilling over onto the 2 seats. So there's not really a whole lot of wiggle room, and the doors have nothing for you. There's no cup holder high up, there's no armrest, there's nothing for the actual occupant, and that was to maximize the internal cabin. You can see right here, that's the outside of the car, and this is as far inside as it goes. So I'm pressed right up against the crash impact location. You do have a little courtesy cup holder down there, but overall it's not really catering as much to your occupants and your riders as a Noah or a Voxy or a Serena itself. Let's go sit in the very back. How do we do this? I just got in this car, so there should be a pull, okay, like this. Holy crap. Oh, that's gonna fold up. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, well, there you go. The back is gonna be super crowded. And this is what I was talking about. This ledge exists on a lot of other of those vehicles that kind of give that to the passengers, but this one doesn't really have that. So it only has it in the back. Now I'm sitting in the back. I'm not very tall, so you can see that with the middle seat modestly centered, I am pressed up against this seat. This is incredibly uncomfortable back here. I do have a singular fan for the rear passengers. However, that's really it. When you have the rear seats up so you can get people in the car, you have no space. I can expand the length between my thumb and my pinky, and that's about as much space I have. You got a good amount of depth, but there's not really a whole lot of width in here, so you couldn't put something boxy as well as have all the people in the car at the same time, although it does have 8 seats. This middle seat's gonna suck. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's bad. That is horrible. Johnny's gonna be on this side, Cindy's gonna be on this side, and they're just gonna be like, when do we get to our destination? This is crammed. This is crammed. And I have an 8-seater van. I have a Serena, and I can attest to that being much more spacious than this. It's suffering a CVT failure right now, so who am I to talk against Honda's quality? But I'm just saying the overall seating is a little bit different. Now you do get that vent for the other person as well, and some heated windows so you can, well, see out of them when you turn your defroster on. You have rear controls, 1, 2, and 3, because this does have 2 separate blower motors. One of the blower motors for the front is going to be located in the front under the glove box. The other blower motor is going to be in the very back. You can close the door by pulling, pressing, or latching that, and then it'll go forward and moving over to the back. Let me see. I'll do this first time. I haven't done it. It's either here, here, or here. I'm just going to start in the middle. Yeah. Those are the license plate lights. Yeah, so here's your depth. You get a lot of it. You get no spare. And I believe you can pull this and the seats should... Oh, they fold down in there? Wait, hold on. Okay. I got it. You pull this, you put that there. You pull this, you put that there. And then you pull this. You pull this. Whoa, dude. Oh, I gotta like click it. Oh, I use the strap. Okay, whatever. But whoa, dude. I didn't know it did that. Look at that. It lays completely flat so you can put, well, like a fridge in here. Okay. Now I see. Okay, they pretty much maximized the use of these 3 seats for your rear passengers in order to accomplish that still. Okay, big props to Honda. Big... Wait, do I have to reach over here every time? Oh, I do. Okay, that's not very intuitive. But you get a 60-40 split, so you can actually go further back or further up on the seat. Okay, I'm seeing its promise. Let's go look at the engine. So in here we have a 4-cylinder R20A, not the K20A from the CSX and the Civic. And it's an SOHC, so it's a single overhead, and you get 150 horse out of it. Now for a van, this isn't the worst thing we've worked on. The Honda Freed was so far towards the front with this cowling that it was impossible to reach to the back. This one, you do have an adequate amount of space. You can kind of reach your air box, your spark plugs, your brake master cylinder and everything. So you do get a decent amount of access, although all things considered, it's very narrow. The entry is narrow. Once you're in there, you get a lot of play wiggle room. But the actual entry is narrow. And I just realized this is all ripped off. So let me fix that. Yeah. You get access to your battery right here, fuse box, air box, some additional relays. So it's not bad. Your radiator cap, reservoirs for your washer, your coolant, your braking. So overall, it's decent. It's decent. You get a lot of access. As we said, this is one of the more narrower cars. So the only place it really flares out is the front of the front fender, the front quarter, but the rest is very boxy. And actually the further generations than this one actually get even boxier as they go. So this one, honestly, all things considered, is a very decent package. You do get the ground effects as well. You get the side skirts, you get the little additional lip kind of altered bumper rather than the soft one, and this actually is a 500 plate. So what that means is most of the bigger vans, as we said, the Serena, the Noah, they're 300 plates, but because this one is so narrow, you actually get the same classification grade as a K car. You don't get the tax benefits and the toll road percentage cut, but the actual plate series technically is smaller than a K truck, because a K truck, due to its weight and everything, it actually is a 400 number. This one, you get a 500 number, which only the really old 2005 vans, the Serenas and Stepwagons, gave you. That was one of the slowest vans of its class I think I've ever driven. I've driven about 5 or 6 of the vans in the 500/300 class amongst the main manufacturers, including the Delica, which is a little bit outside of the regular road vans. It's more of an off-roader-y type of vehicle. It's a little bit heavier, comes in a diesel variant, etc. But the 2-liter bunch, basically the Stepwagon, the Serena, and just call it the Noah, I guess the Voxy, but tomato. This was a very, very slow drive. That was a really slow acceleration, brought it up to about 4,500. That one was really just struggling to move, and they all are. You're not gonna get hyper performance out of these vehicles unless you get an Alphard, unless you get an Elgrand by Nissan, unless you get a Toyota Velfire. Then you're gonna get some V6 performance. But out of the 2 liters, why it is a 2 liter is because it's technically 1,998 or 7 or 6. Basically, it's not 2,000 cc. So what it means is when you have to pay your tax and take it in for inspection and all that, it's actually in different classification, so it's cheaper to run and operate. And of course, it's the golden ratio because you have 2,000 cc, just call it, and you have 4 cylinders, so it's 500 cc per cylinder. So it also, from a balancing perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But all things considered, you're not getting this to go fast from the first place. But if the question was, could you go fast? No, you couldn't. So that's basically it. This is the Stepwagon Spada. This is not a new vehicle. We just got this because we dropped a car off. Suzuki said, hey, you know, your YouTube channel, do you want to take a loaner? And I said, no, I don't want to take up a loaner for, you know, other people might want it. And he said, no, we don't have anyone in today. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, then I'll take it. So I have to bring this back tomorrow, but he was nice enough to let me use it for the day. So it's not a new car. It's not a particularly old car. It's one of those almost exportable units, 2011, 2012. So we're right around the corner from this actually being a North American / Canadian exportable unit. But for now, that is the Stepwagon.